Hello, my name is DC. I'll be giving you match analysis for Al Ittihad versus Al Khaleej, or should I say Al Khaleej versus Al Ittihad, since Al Khaleej were home in this match. This was a match Al Khaleej should have won easily, but through their mistakes, Al Ittihad benefited a lot. Otherwise, let's get into this match. All right, so here corner, and then one thing I'd like you to note is that this is the attacking team, right? The people in yellow. Just for those that are confused, and they have taken up all the good positions because this is a two-man corner. I'm surprised he is not going there because he could really help his teammate out because he's outnumbered, and it's more likely they're just going to pass, then they cross, and then here no player is near the D. So if there's a case of a deflection, sorry, not a deflection, but the ball bouncing back in this area, the attacking team would get there first. I'm surprised there's no one there. Let's play it a bit further. As we can see, they have clustered up here, and you may think as if no, they're defending, and then another, sorry, I'm getting my points out a little too quickly, but if you look at this, 1 2 3 4 are rushing to a ball that by the time they reach would have already been crossed into the box. So already, let's cut that off. So you only have this here, and he's playing everyone on side, right? So there's a lot of confusion because I don't know why these particular four are all alone. If they wanted to help their teammate, two of them could have gone a long time ago. And as the cross is being placed in, oh, sorry, it wasn't a cross, but it was a pass. And then I like this. This is one of the most unexpected things you wouldn't expect for someone to hit the ball like that, right? And then guess what? He starts running. So the fact that they were so late or they were so deep, such that they started running and they still couldn't reach in time, they probably should have just, I don't know, maybe had committed probably two or three players, one here and the other two there to deal with a two-man corner that they wanted to set up so that they could easily reach out. Everyone was here, and then I'll take a look at him. He's unmarked. No one is marking him. Nobody is marking number 7 right there. And that pass that was made, really nice, really disguised. And by the time the boy is coming through, this is where the team is completely zonal marking because they are in a line, but they're marking no one. It's strange. This is where you have to have a bit of zonal and man marking. You especially man mark the tall people and those that look as if they are alone. So immediately have someone, but it's a weird way to defend a corner, but it's also a really good set piece routine. Otherwise, let's head on to the next goal of the match. Okay, so this is really funny. It really is because the keeper put himself in. No, I don't want to blame the keeper. So a long ball has been played, right? And fortunately enough, the keeper gets this. So at this point, what he can do, pass it, pass it to him. He's free. Or if he wants, he can pass it to him because the player that's here will probably feel lazy to go and track him and then immediately goes into the box. But let's see what happens. He gets the ball, prevents it from going out for a throw-in, and then Fabinho, right? And as you can see from the photo, sorry, from this particular frame, he's free. But let's see, let's play it on. You have seen the frame. He looks to be completely free. And then as this boy is passed, let's keep an eye on him. Let's see how quick he covers the ground. We play it. And then that's a bad touch. That's a really bad touch. Okay. So this is partly the fault of the okay, I don't no 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 no. Okay, whenever something happens, you can't assign full blame to one person. So here, majority of the blame is on Fabinho because he really should be controlling this. If possible, pass it back to the keeper, or probably pass it back to one of his centre backs. They recycle the ball because at this point the goalkeeper is here. Any mistake is critical. Any mistake can lead to a very bad situation. He makes a mistake. That's very good persistence. Fabinho thought he had more time than he actually had. Quickly, a lovely goal. But I'm not going to blame the goalkeeper on that one. Full responsibility lies on Fabinho. Maybe the keeper could have cleared it quicker, but that's definitely Fabinho's. Like, I don't know. I think he just assumed he had more time than he had. All right, then let's head on to the next instance in the match. Yeah, I think that's a nice word to use. So now, the thing with this challenge is that there's no other angle. So I think he stepped on his foot, and when the challenge was made, he was given a yellow card, which I do believe was the right choice. I mean, it was the best choice. I mean, it's still in the first half, they're down, But surprisingly, it was upgraded to a red, and surprisingly, once again, there's no other frame or footage of the incident. So, which is weird for me because such would I think we do deserve another angle to see that, but the fact that they don't show it makes me suspicious. That makes me by that I simply mean that maybe he was not meant to get a red card. This is the red card challenge. Now I don't understand why he does this because his teammate is there to cover for him. There's no need for him to take this swipe, especially with his awkward body positioning. He was slow, he didn't get the ball, gets the man, and there was no need for do that. To do that, his teammate was there to help him. Goalkeeper facing a penalty. He slots it home. That's a lovely pen. All right, let's head on to the next goal. And in this match, Khaleej had a lot of chances. And I say they had a lot. All right, so if this was all right, so let me play it back a bit. Just one more. So if this was Barcelona, he would have probably been caught offside. He would have everyone would have pushed up immediately. Like it's a team thing. So the Barcelona players, I don't know how they do it, but immediately they saw his body language, they would have immediately pushed up and they would have yep, he would have been offside. Unfortunately, he isn't. And what's funny is that he's facing this way. I think he had intentions to go to the ball, but that didn't work out. The fact that he's running forward and there's no midfielder in front of him, I don't know if this is a counter attack or maybe the midfielders were just lost. And also, let's not forget, there is a red card. Maybe that comes into play, but you have a red card. You shouldn't really be leaving those open spaces now, should you? This is a really nice pass. That's a lovely ball and that's a lovely finish. Really is. Yeah, he is happy. He is extremely happy. I think maybe the goalkeeper should have just rushed out. But then again, if we would have taken him out, that would have been another card. But yeah, I don't want to blame the goalkeeper because the fact that that type of one-on-one chance is created says a lot about the defense in that particular moment. All right, let's head on to the next goal of the match. It starts from somewhere here. I think I'm ahead a bit. Let me just a bit here. All right, so boys played. Before we even go any further, uh, I don't know why. I think he's rethinking something. I don't know if he was going backwards or he was going forward. I don't know why because that's sudden. That's sudden. Oh, he wanted to follow the ball there, but unfortunately it went to the other side, so he has to set again. And then once again, the ball goes another way. And before we even say anything, he's playing everyone on side. Because look at where he's standing. If you draw a line and it goes all the way there. Yeah, and look at where Diaby is. If a ball is played into him, that's clearly onside. And once again, they have the man advantage. I don't know why there would be someone here having the ball with no pressure on him with all the time in the world. He flicks it up for Diaby, and what I like about Diaby here, you see what he does in a moment. But they definitely should deal with this. He does. He gets first contact. Unfortunately, his persistence, number 10, he gets the ball. That's lovely. I love that. They all assume that he's going to strike it first time. So that's the funny thing. Like, if he stopped running and he was in line, if he was in line with his defense, it would have been offside, and probably him too. But the fact there's no pressure, as I've stated, he does well to get first contact. Unfortunately, there's no one to get the ball. But that's lovely. That's smart. Sometimes the best decision isn't always the best because someone will just tell you, hit it as. No, 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 no. That's what he does here was great. Instead of just hitting it, he knows that the defenders, the goalkeeper, everyone has read his intention. And also shout out to number 27 here. Yeah, he's run. He followed him, so he pushed him to be onside. Many people will not notice that, but that's a really good movement from him. Yeah, I do like this by Diaby. Well, he did the thing the least expected it. Rather than take it first time, hold it for a bit, and then you shoot. That's a really good save. Sorry, goal. Yeah, as I was saying, that was some good play from Diaby. Let's head on to the next goal of the match. Somewhere here, and Alcalá once again, they should have scored more. They created, when I say they created so many chances, they created so many chances. All right, they are running. I think they've lost the ball. Let me check again. Yeah, I think they've definitely lost the ball. It happens really quickly here. Yeah, I think so. Now let's just do a head count before we move further. One, two, three, four, five, six. One, two, three, four. So how is it that the person was able to put in a ball for him to run through? Like they have more than enough people to deal with whatever is here. And then that one, since I don't know where exactly it starts from, maybe we've seen a different angle. That's really good from Diaby. What he was doing is that he was pushing them forward. And this is why sometimes, if you're in this situation as a center back, you have to have one person that commits. By commits, one person that commits to being man to man with the person behind you. Because you can't mark what you can't see. If you're facing the ball, especially in the way that he is, you can't attack either. You can't hopefully try, block this ball, even that would be highly unlikely from that point of view. And you also can't deal with what's behind you. So that's why you're better off rather than, okay, let's say for example, these are his shoulders, he's facing this way. I would rather he be like this, his shoulders facing like that, and then so that he's able to see what's here. And then if he puts himself right, he can also be aware of what's to the side of him, because I'm pretty sure his peripheral vision will be very okay. Because running towards the ball, running towards like that, you're setting yourself up. You can't see what's behind you, and you can't really like stick out your leg because the ball always gets past. Trust me. So here, it's good movement by Diaby, but he could have defended a bit better. And then as we play, that's a good finish. That's a really good finish. But it all starts from there. Six Al Kalash players and then four El Ittihad players, but they still managed to outplay their Al Kalash players. And then here, very good movement by Diaby, but as I've mentioned before, he could have positioned himself better, sorry, so that he could get something on that. Let's head on to the next chance of the match. This one did frustrate me, I'm not going to lie. Is it this one? Ah, no, 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 it's not this one, sorry. It's this chance. He runs. It's a good run. He's onside. What does he have to do? He has to play. The goalkeeper is here. So his teammate is running. He's running very quickly here. You have to play the ball somewhere there so that he meets up with it. So he taps it in to the goal like that. You see that's what he has to do. In and out. Do you guess what he does? Don't even bother guessing. Look at what he does. That is a terrible ball. I understand they're 4-2 up at this point, but this is why they drew the match. They had so many chances, they were just not clinical. And if you're not clinical, you will definitely have problems, or you definitely regret some of the chances you've wasted. Okay, another cluster. I think is that Diaby? I think it is. Cross, it floats it into the box, and then that's just too easy. It's a block, and then I didn't explain properly. Okay, let's let it play through, and then I will speak on it later. That's nice. He's unmarked, and that's a goal. All right, since we've let that later, I can speak on it better now. So this is all wrong. By all wrong, he is too far away. He should have been closer. He should have been assuming that there's a corner and then there's someone that's here on this side of the box. He should have been closer to go. He should have been closer to him in short because you should have seen that coming. And then this side here, you have three players on this side that are not doing anything. And then you have a little cluster, one, two, three, four. These two are marked, so immediately he can cross it there, and they'll definitely get face contact. And then he is unmarked, which is concerning. You are leading in the 94th plus 56 minute 99. Yeah, in extra time, they should really be more tight and more, how can I say this, proactive. There's someone standing here. You should have definitely rushed out earlier. And they have a red card, so I don't know how this keeps happening. They can afford to keep a spare man. This is a nicely floated ball. And look at this. I think this is Koulibaly, I'm not sure, but he's unmarked. Fortunately enough, the keeper reads that. And then even when setting up again, he's completely unmarked. And I like this about him. He disguises the pass. Look, he looks as if he's going to shoot, but it's a disguise. Oof. That's a nice, but the fact he was able to turn and shoot in the box, there was not enough pressure. He's alone. Someone should have immediately just gone to touch him. By touch him, I mean just, occupy him. Physical contact is the most important thing. This is so frustrating to watch because they're failing to close the game down with a team that has a red card. How is this happening? Yeah, I know they have really good players, but this shouldn't even be happening in the first place. Really should not be happening. He is shocked. They're like, why? And then So, you're defending, right? Um, in the 97th/98th minute, you have five players here. So, what are they defending? Themselves. That's what they are defending. They're defending themselves. Because how does this happen? Heads it. It's painful. It's painful because you can tell it just hits him. But I do feel he could do better. I know it hits him, but he can definitely bring that closer to his body. And you remember those people that I said that defending themselves? They have allowed this man here to run past them. Do you know why? Because he is looking at the ball. 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 They are all looking at the ball. Oh, sorry about that. They are all looking at the ball, and no one is looking at this player who is unmarked and charging towards that ball at full speed, which is scary. Because why don't you notice that? And then, boom! Look at how everyone is happy. Look at the excitement. I'm sure they were feeling happy. Look at Conceição. But this should not have happened. It really shouldn't. This is showing us from, the home view. Yeah, I do feel he could have done better in bringing this down and taking it out for a corner whatsoever. But so many men in the box, but yet they are not defending anything. They're not obstructing anyone. They're not man. They're just, ish. It's frustrating because there were 4 goals up. The other team had a red card, and then they let it go just like that. Look at this. Look, look. They're just, they're zonally marking themselves. They really are. And then we have to give credit to the Al Ittihad player. Look at his persistence. Look at that. Yeah, if I would be upset. I would be upset if I was the home fan. I would be very upset because yeah, it's a great moment in football, in terms of football, but this really shouldn't be happening. I would see it as 3 points dropped, not a point gained, but 3 points dropped. It's really sad to be honest. So yeah, I know I've played it many times, but this should not be happening. Otherwise, Alcalaj, I hope they really do sort out the defensive mess because that in no way should be happening. Otherwise, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next match analysis.